All right, shalom, shalom. It's Brother Yatazadak, hero of Israel. Before I get started, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kwadash. Double honors to you, the apostles of Great Millstone. Today we're going to go into Hosea chapter 9, going to the Hebrew. So Lord willing, you're edified. Give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kwadash. Double honors to you, and apostles of Great Millstone. Let's get right into it, right? Hosea chapter 9. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Brakatham, to the 144,000, great multitude that will be delivered out of America, Babylon, the Great in these latter days, through the power of Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Wawer Kakwadash, Lord willing, you're edified, right? So we're going to start at verse 1, right? Which reads chapter 9 and 1, Salakia. Do not rejoice, O Israel, do not be joyful like unto the peoples, as in the peoples round about, because thou hast, let's get the blue letter, Salakia. Yeah, 9-9, guess who's back? uh, so it says, because thou hast gone whoring from upon your God, thou hast loved a gift upon all threshing floor of grain, which reads, Al Tashamach Yasha'ala, Al Gayel Ka'amyam, Kaya Zanyath Ma'al Alahayaka, Ahabath Athanan, Al Kol Gawarnath Dagan. The Lord is saying, do not rejoice, do not be joyful like the peoples around about, right? Because what do scriptures say, right? Now this is talking about back then, but you can apply it to today, that what judgment must first come at the house of God, right? Which is talking about you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Israelites, according to the Holy Bible, right? The 12 tribes, Israel, or Yasha'Allah, Yah meaning he, Shar meaning prince of God, Allah, right? So thou hast gone a whoring from upon your God. Thou lovest a gift upon all threshing floor of grain, right? So we're not in the time of mirth. We're in times of measuring the times diligently within itself, right? Seeking the Most High God while he still may be found. The sure mercies of David, right? Because David, what? David went off. David committed adultery. David had a dude killed. And the law cannot save us, but we established the law, right? But the point is that the carnal works of the law is not what's going to justify us. Righteousness and administering justice is what's going to justify us. Meaning what? We're going to prophesy the 100% truth, right? Starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, right? That have been laboring for decades and decades, telling you about the Charagma, telling you about martial law, FEMA camps, World War III, right? The economic collapse of America, Babylon the Great, the Most High God raining fire and brimstone, right? Uh, right after Revelation 13 to 16, which is the Charagma is instituted, right? The Third World War, martial law being enacted, FEMA camps coming to America, Babylon the Great, all hell breaking loose, right? So Hosea 9 and 2, like I said, this chapter, or I didn't mention that, but this chapter isn't necessarily regarding, it isn't necessarily referencing future prophecy, right? Because this is mainly the book of Hosea mainly speaks about the northern kingdom, right? So, which is why the header says Ephraim punished. So, but there's some things you can apply to today, right? Hosea 9:2, the threshing floor and the wine vat will not feed them, and the new wine shall fail in the midst of her, or in her, right? Because what? Not only famine of the word is coming to America, Babylon Great, we have an actual, the actual famine, right? Now it says in the book of Second Edges that they shall seem to be in good place. The goods shall be hardly cheap, meaning they're easy to make. Everything is not quality. It's not talking about its price, because through things like inflation, you're gonna have things like famine come to pass. Because you're not gonna you can either choose between buying a damn sandwich, which is gonna cost like it already costs like $10. Then it's gonna cost slowly go up. Then it's gonna by the time you know it's gonna go roundabout. It's gonna cost roundabout maybe $20, $20 or $30. So you're gonna either choose that or go to the damn discount grocery store and maybe buy a soda and a bag of chips and maybe a loaf of bread for $50, right? Or for the same price, right? So that's how the Most High God is going to bring right desolation, right? More plagues, right? More false flag events, right? Through the Spirit of the Lord, we understand these things must come to pass, right? So that's what the scriptures say, right? That's what it says here, right? The new wine, right? You're gonna have, right? They have what? You go to the supermarket, you buy a bottle of juice, and it costs more, and the bottle looks smaller, right? The new wine shall fill in her. Meaning what? What are they doing now? Which they've been doing the exporting jobs, right, overseas, right, and that's all part of the plans of the Rothschilds, the wicked elites, the bankers, right? They plan demolition, right? Uh, so that word kahash, like I said, it means to lie or to not deny, but in this case, figuratively, it means to fail, right? So particular jobs, particular productions, facilities, particular factories are not even right being produced here, right? Things are being imported more, right? Which ultimately you're going to have things like right less trading. Particular countries are going to do less trading, which they're already doing with America, Babylon the Great, right? But there's also talking about back then, right? Things like a siege, right? Famine, right? Before the Assyrians took the northern kingdom into captivity, right? Hosea chapter 9 and verse 3 says, get these tabs ready because I sort of prepared the lesson a little bit ahead, right? So just bear with me. Salakia, just bear with me 1 moment. So, Salakia, get these tabs ready for you through the Spirit. So let's see. All right. So let's get that first one ready. Which is verse 13. And let's see. And let's see. What was the other one? Amos 7 and 14. All right. 7, 14. And let's just type in. Okay, so that didn't show up. And we're going to get Zechariah 13. And Hosea 9, 11. That's pretty much it. Right. So let's continue with the lesson. Hosea 9 and 3 says, they shall not abide, they shall not dwell in the land of the Lord, and will return Ephraim unto Egypt. And in Assyria, the foul things he shall eat. Right? And Assyria is another word for America, Babylon the Great. Right? Esau is known as the Assyrian as well. Um, Isaiah, Bible Hub. Go to the KJV. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, right grievousness which they have prescribed. Just talking about America Babylon Great, right? Unrighteous decrees, right? You have what's called what is it? Redlining. Let's get that real quick. Says the illegal practice of refusing to offer credit or insurance in a particular community on a discriminatory basis as because of the race or ethnicity of its residents, right? So this system is designed, right, for the Edomite man, woman, and child, right? Things like zoning, things like census, right? Censuses, right? When you're um, let me see if I can get that real quick. Slovakia. Whoops. What did I just click? Anyways, I'm not going to go into all that right now. Let's just continue with the lesson. We don't need any more distractions, right? Um, let's see. It says, like I said, the system is designed for the Edomite man, woman, and child, right? Which is why you have the Edomites live in a particular area. Jake lives in a particular area, right? Uh, uh, you have particular stores being looted, right? And who's being blamed? Jake, right? You have particular riots, and who gets blamed? Jake, right? Um, the right grievousness which they have prescribed, and all these things are designed to create more oppressing laws against Negro, Latino, and Native American, right? Says verse 2 to turn aside the needy from judgment and take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and they may rob the fatherless, right? But this is talking about Israel, right? Um, Here's a point. Verse 5 O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, the staff in their hand is mine indignation. That is Esau Edom, right? Let's see. Verse 12 Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. Verse 13 For he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, I have robbed their treasuries, and have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man, which is what he does through his armies, right? Through his like it says here, the strength of my hand, by my wisdom, right? Removing the bounds of the people, going into other countries, uh, and bombing the crap out of them in the name of democracy, right? Freedom, right? Freedom for what? They were in their own land. You didn't need to go into their land, right? But that's that pride. That's that stout heart, right? That's what Esau says, right? Like a valiant man. Aha, I got him, right? Verse 14, and my hand have found as a nest the riches of the people, as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, which is why America Babylon the Great is known as the kingdom of whoredoms, right? The land of idols, right? The land of unwalled villages. Salakia, let me close this. It's kind of annoying. And there was none that moved a wing or opened the mouth or peeped. Verse 16 or verse 15, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith, or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as it were no wood. Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, sing among his fat ones' leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like a burning of a fire, right? And the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame. And they shall burn and devour his thorns and briars in one day. Which is talking about what? This word going out, the judgments being sent forth. Isaiah chapter 4 speaks about what? When the Lord had purged away the blood of the daughters of Zion, it shall be through the spirit of judgment and through the spirit of burning, right? Which is his word going out and then the judgment coming, right? But anyways, that's pretty much it, right? There's a lot we can take out of this chapter, but um, we're not going to continue in that chapter. We're going to focus on the lesson at hand, right? Which says, so they shall not dwell in the land of Egypt, and will turn Ephraim unto Egypt, and in Assyria defile things he shall eat, right? Just talk about the northern kingdom, right? Because Assyria is like Egypt, right? Because you're in low estate, you're in straits, right? You're a servant, you're a slave, right? And in Assyria, the foul things they shall eat, which in Assyria, that's what happened to the northern kingdom. And in America, Babylon the Great, right? Like it says in the book of Ezekiel, you shall eat the foul things amongst the Gentiles, right? Real quick. Ezekiel 4 and 12, 4 and 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Right? So amongst the Gentiles, that's talking about amongst the Gentiles in general, right? Like it says here in Hosea 9 and 3, right? So we can't rely on these labels that Esau puts, right, on his food, right? Although we we have more of a chance than we did, for example, back in the ancient Roman Empire, where the Apostle Paul said, you know, those things in the marketplaces, do not ask too much about it. You know, just eat it, which is talking about clean foods. It's not talking about swine and just, oh well, swine, you know, that's all they have. So time to eat some swine. No, that's not what it's talking about. Because they had other things, right? But now we can't use that excuse in these last days, right? In these latter days. That, oh, everything's defiled. I might as well eat pork. No, things are labeled, right? They may not be produced in the best manner, right? But there is more variety as far as knowing what you're eating is clean or not, right? Hosea 9 and 4 says, they shall not pour out a libation unto the Lord of wine, and he will not rejoice in them. And they will not be pleasing unto him. Their sacrifices will be like the bread of mourners. Unto them all that eat them shall be defiled, because their bread um, for their soul shall not enter into the house of the Lord. Meaning the Lord cast them off, the northern kingdom, right? They were no longer offering sacrifices for sin. They were no longer keeping the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? They were eating their bread in mourning because they were in captivity, right? Because they rebelled, right? The Lord did not rejoice in them anymore, so he cast them off, right? And it even says in the law that you're not to eat your bread while mourning. When you eat the sacrifices of the Lord, you're supposed to eat it with joyfulness. That's part of the curses. The Lord said that for this reason, because you didn't sanctify my name, let's get that. Deuteronomy. Neither did I eat in my mourning. And Deuteronomy 28, Bible Hub. Deuteronomy 26 and 14. I have not, and this is part of the confessions of the first fruits, right? I've not eaten any of the sacred portion while I was in mourning, nor have removed any of it while I was unclean, nor have I offered any of it to the dead. I have obeyed the Lord my God, done everything you have commanded me, which is part of the first fruits confessions. And there are other particular things like giving thanks after you eat a meal, right? Not like Esau. Esau does it backwards. He said they do their thanks before, right? Which shows you he is asked backwards, right? So like, get this out of the way. I believe that's chapter 2. Deuteronomy 8 and 10. So you have to know the law, period, man. There's no excuse. There's things you can do in the law, right? Does the law justify us? No. Can we keep the whole law? No. But there are things we can do, right? Deuteronomy 8 and 10. When you have eaten and are satisfied, praise the Lord your God for the good land he has given you, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 47. Because you did not serve the Lord your God with joy and gladness of heart and all your abundance, you will serve your enemies. The Lord will send against you in famine, thirst, nakedness, destitution. You will place an iron yoke upon your neck until he has destroyed you. And then it is reiterated again. Verse 58, if you are not careful to observe all the words of this law which are written in this book, that you may fear his glorious and awesome name, the Lord your God. Right? Because you did not rejoice, because you did not glorify Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? Verse 62 says, you were as numerous as the stars of the sky. You who were as numerous as the stars in the sky will be left few in number, because you will not obey the voice of the Lord your God, which is through his servants, the prophets, right? The volume of the book, right? Which is written in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, he comes in the volume of the book, right? The remnant will speak the volume of the book. They will come in the volume of the book as well, right? Hosea, right? So that's what it's talking about, right? We're eating the food of mourning because, right? If everything's defiled, everything has artificial this, artificial that, right? Really, this is not right. This is not it, right? And this isn't real food, right? In the kingdom, right? We're gonna eat real food, right? Everything's gonna be 100%, right? It's gonna be filling, right? Um, and we're gonna right. Everything's gonna be at its completion, right? So it says La'a Yasakwa La Yahweh Yayan Wa La'a Ya Arabwa Lawa Zabak Yahum Ka Lahum Awanyam Lahum Kal Yawa Ya Tama'awa Kaya Lachama La Napashma La'a Yaba'a Bayath Yahweh. Verse 5 says, what shall you do unto the day of the appointed time, unto the day of the feast of the Lord? Mata Ashwa La Yawam Mawa'id Wala Yawam Hag Yahweh. Right? Meaning there was a time where, right, like it says in the, I believe that's either chapter 2 or 3, right? We were that without a image, without a king, without a prince, without a teraphim, without a sacrifice, right? So there was a time when we weren't even able to keep the seasons and the particular feasts, right? That's just the Lord speaking through Isaiah or Hosea, that there's going to come a time when, right, those things won't be kept, right? Hosea 9:6, because behold, they have gone from the violence, from destruction unto Egypt. Nop will gather them, which is a particular place in Egypt. Like it says here, or Memphis, Salakia. Memphis shall gather them to bury them. And it says, the precious things of their silver uh, to the fowler or to nettles shall possess them. It says thorns will be in their tabernacles, right? Reads Kaya Hana Halakwa Mashad Matazorium Ta Kwabatazam Map Ta Kwabar Ma Mahamad, La Kasabma, Quamash, Ya Yarasham, Hawach, uh, Ba Achal Yahum, right? So it says, because behold, they have went from destruction or violence, right? That's what that means in a figurative sense. From the destruction unto Egypt, right? Because they were destroyed. They went into the Assyrians, to Syrian captivity, right? Then they went to the Americas. I'm talking about Northern Kingdom. And then they fled from their. You see a lot of Northern Kingdom fleeing South America and coming to the America Babylon Great, right? Fleeing from what? Violence and particular drug trades that are going on down there, right? Into Egypt. So they went from the frying pan into the fryer, like Jay-Z says, right? Memphis. So it says, from violence unto Egypt, which shall gather them, right? Because this is where that the Lord is like he said, he's going to allure them into the wilderness, right? Northern and southern kingdom, right? For their judgment, some to be saved, some to be the majority to be destroyed, right? Memphis shall bury them. That's just a place in America Babylon Great, and that's spiritual because there's you got Memphis, Tennessee. There's it's wild out there, right? So you can kind of, you know, scriptures say we measure spiritual things with spiritual things, right? Precious things of the silver, right? Shall be that word komash means nettles, right? And that's how Jake is, right? You know, that's just talking about your money not really, you know, going far, especially in these times. You got things like inflation, you got things like the portions are getting smaller, right? So Jake, as soon as he goes and buys a damn sandwich, you you get the damn change, and then you're like, why was it that much, right? Jake loves to do that. How much was that? Did you what else did you charge him for? You know that kind of hurts. You go buy a sandwich and it's $10. For a damn sandwich. You got the damn coins in your hand. It hurts, right? That word is kwambash, meaning nettles, thistles, nettles. Let's see what a thistle or nettle is. Salakia. Right, there are these leaves that got little thorns on them, right? It's called a stinging nettle. Quamash. So it says the nettles will possess them, and it's going to sting, right? Thorns shall be in their tabernacles. Chawach, or chaka, a thorn, a bramble, thistle, thorn, briar, bramble. Let's look at what a thistle is. This is a thistle, right? I guess it's like a cactus flower or something like that. Let's see what else we got. It says thistles will be in their tabernacle. So it says prickly shrubs occupy their old homes, right? Which is talking about, that's going back to the curses, right? Living in particular conditions, and right, you may be um, trying to wash your uh, damn wall, and then all of a sudden a piece of wood comes off and pricks you, right? So that's what it's talking about, right? Let's see what else we can get. So just bear with me one moment. It's a lot, kid. Just bear with me. All right. So let's see. Right, Hosea 9 and 10 or 7. It has come the day of their visitation. It has come the day of recompense. Right, which happened back then. Again, this is mainly talking about things that already happened, not necessarily future prophecy. Right, but there's some things that really that speak, right, when you meditate on it, right. But as a whole, this is talking about Northern Kingdom and things that happened back then, right. So it says, Israel shall know, right. The prophet is a fool, but this word actually means ungodly or impious, which means ungodly. He is mad, the man spiritual, upon the multitude of your iniquity and great. That word is hatred. Now, that's not the actual word for hatred. You go to the root, means animosity, right? But it goes deeper than that, right? Scourge, right? Shatat, great hatred. Because that word shatam actually means to stalk, to harass, right? Now let's see if we can get that actually. But in this sense, it's animosity in a figurative sense, right? Has nothing to do with the word scourge. Let's see if we can get that. So it says, and he hated Esau unto Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. This is Genesis 27:41. Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob. That word is shatam. And that word for animosity is actually ayab, which means enemy also. Shatam, to lay snares for anyone, to follow hostilely. So Esau was a damn stalker, stalking Jacob. Goddamn devil. But in this case, it's denoting animosity, right? In a figurative sense, right? So this is what was happening back then, right? The Lord is saying the days of visitation are come, the day of recompense, Israel shall know it. The prophet is impious, the spiritual man is mad, for the multitude of thy iniquity and the great hatred, because they were sacrificing to idols, worshiping the creation more than the creator, calling upon damn spirits, right? As far as I can tell, because the Lord called Jake a sorcerer, right? Adulterer. Thou hast a horse forehead, Salakia, right? So it says, Ba'a yamya ha pakwada ba'awa yamya ha shalom, meaning peace or to pay or recompense. Yadaiwa yasha'ala awayal ha nabaya'a ma shagai, meaning mad or madman. And you can compare that to today. I mean, a lot of stuff that we hear out of these other camps, IUIC, ISUPK, is madness, ungodliness, right? You got so-called spiritual men that come up to these camps. They don't know a damn thing, right? There's some of them were jakes. Most of them were jakes, right? Because they turned from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They have no understanding, right? So it says, Yadaiwa Yasha'alu Awayal Ha Nabaya'a Mashagai Ayash Haraka Al Rab Iwanka Waraba Mashatama. Hosea 9 and 8, which says, the watchmen of Ephraim are with my God, right? Which you had faithful men back then and today, even today, right? They say we're heathens because we're not black, but we're doing the work. How about that, right? Because we don't look like Shaft, right? It says the prophet is a snare of the fowler upon all his ways. Because you have pseudo prophets, you have false prophets in these last days, right? There is animosity in the house of his God, right? Because that's what you get with these other camps: contention and strife, inquisitions about things that even don't matter, like genealogies, strivings about the law, so on and so forth, right? This reads Tazapa Aparium, I'm Alaya Nabaya'a Pach Yakwash Al Kal Darak Yawa Mashatama Babayath Alahayawa, right? The word Pach means to spread out or a snare or a net. A quash is a fowler, meaning ones who sets up traps. A lot of these camps are traps. They're a snare, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 14. So the 144,000, like it says Revelation 14 and 5, they are without guile, meaning they're teaching the correct thing, right? Pseudos, no lie. They are blameless. Amo moi, meaning blameless, without blemish, unblemished. I don't think that's what I was looking for. Let's go to the blue letter. Block it. Damn, what was that preset? So in their mouth was found no guile. That word is dolos, meaning what? To decoy. Guile, subtlety, deceit, craft. Probably meaning to decoy, bait, craft, deceit. That's what these other camps are. They produce bait, decoys. They're decoy camps, right? Let's look up that word decoy. Hunting, a pond in which wildfowl lured for capture. Someone or something used to lure or lead another into a trap. Someone or something used to draw attention away from another, right? Distractions, decoys, right? Gimmicks, right? Like IUIC. ISUPK, Sakari, Dolos. right? Because that's all you're gonna get in these other camps. You get harassed. You're gonna ask if you got a wife. They're gonna ask you if she's not in the truth to divorce her, causing you to commit adultery, causing her to commit adultery. Like that's what IUIC does, right? And all kind of madness, right? So it says, Tazapa Aporium I'm Alaya Nabaya Pach Yakwash Alkol Darak Mashatama Babayat Alahayawa. Verse 9, they are profoundly destroyed, like in the days of Gibeah. He will remember their iniquity, he shall visit their sins. Right? Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? Ha Amyakwa Shachatwa Kayamya Ha Gabaya Yazakar Iwanam Yapakwad Kata Atham. Verse 10. See how many more verses we got. Like grapes in the wilderness, I found Israel, and like the first fruits of the figs, um, in her former time, ka inabium ba madabar mataza thaya yasha'ala ka bakara bata ana ba ra'ash yata. Says, I saw your fathers, they. So that's how the Lord saw us as a first, like it says here, like grapes in the wilderness, first ripe fig, the tree at her first time, right? So like, just bear with me. Just plug this in real quick. So it says, Salakia. So it says, I saw your father's day, or I saw your fathers, like grapes in the wilderness. I found Israel, like first fruits of figs in her former time. I saw your fathers, right? Ra'ayataya, Abathaya come, but they have entered to Bel Peor, and they have separated themselves unto shame. And it came to pass their abominations were according unto their lovers, was according unto their like, was like unto their liking, right? which we read Hama, Ba'awa, Bayel, Payor, Waya Nazarwa, La Bashath, Waya Hayawa, Shakwatazayim, Ka Ahama. That word Shakwatazah means to detest or detestable things. It's another name for idols. So let's go to verse 11. And Ephraim, like a bird, shall fly away his glory from uh, from from birth, from the womb, and from conceiving. Meaning what? Right? The northern kingdom throughout time eventually became whitewashed. Right? Northern kingdom eventually, right, became whitewashed. Right? Jake losing their comeliness. Right? Because whether you believe it or not, right, we didn't look back then like we look now, right? We were basically we had more melanin, right? Our strength was more firm, right? Basically, we were black, right? Because when you look at it, if you look at the history of the so-called Chinese, the Moabites, right? They all nations were basically black in ancient times, but then through whitewashing, mixing with the Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and that's why you see the so-called Chinese, because they used to be black too, right? Just like the right, and there's other nations that are just very dark skinned, right? So that's that glory fading away, right? Because of mingling with the nations, right? That's why certain Jakes kind of look ugly because they get it from the other nations, right? And they look like shit, right? But that's what it's talking about, right? The comeliness, the whitewashing. That's why, like I said, the so-called Chinese, Japanese, the Moabites, the Ammonites. That's why most of them are white because they follow the white man is the east, the so-called white man is their god, right? So they want to look like him. So they, throughout time they became whitewashed, right? So on and so forth, right? So the former glory, that's the former glory, and it's talking about Jake having a nationality as well. Here it's talk like I said here in this chapter, it's talking about Northern Kingdom. So that's what it's talking about, right? Jake losing his comeliness, his heritage, right? Like it says here, from the birth, from the womb, from conception, that glory just flying away, right? And now Jake is a damn menace to society, right? It says Aparium ka iwap, yata iwapa, kabadma, malada, wamabatan, wama haryawan. Lada malada means to bring forth. Yalad is the root. Batan means stomach or as in womb. Maharyawan, hara is the root meaning to conceive. Verse 12 says, because if if they wean unto their sons or their children, and I will bereave them from among men, because even woe unto them in the time which I have will depart from them. Kaya I'm Yagadal wa atha banyaham wa shakal thayum ma adam kaya gam awayu laham bashawarya. Which the root of sawar means to turn back or depart from them. This is what the Lord did. He gave him over to Jake over to his own lust, right? That particular Jake's that, you know, instead of raising the Jake child, they'll just go and abort it, right? Whether maybe because they can't afford it, right? So the Lord said, "Woe unto them in the time when I depart from them." Hosea 9:13. Ephraim is like according to which I saw unto Tyrus, a which is planted, which that's not the word for plant. This actually means a slip or to transplant. It's another way to say plant. Um, and and the abode or pleasant place, which that word nawah means abode, habitation, sometimes meadow, figuratively, right? But you can just say in a pleasant place because right, Northern Kingdom was once in a fruitful land, right? Now the Lord had mercy on Ephraim because right, Puerto Rico is very fruitful, but the rest of Northern Kingdom not so much, right? A lot of those parts in South America is some of them are like deserts, right? And right, extremely downtrodden, right? So in a sense, the Lord had mercy on the tribe of Ephraim. Well, that was part of His blessing to be fruitful, right? Like Judah, he didn't deal with. I think he basically dealt worse with the Northern Kingdom. Well, not really, because Northern Kingdom. I mean, he dealt pretty bad with Judah too, right? So we all got it pretty bad, you know. It says, "And Ephraim will bring out onto the murderer his children." Right? That word harag just means to smite, to kill. And that's just talking about the tribes bereaving their children, right? Or right, certain parts of the earth they'll sell them. Right? Jake's just full of wickedness. So says Aparium ka ashar Pra'ayataya la tazawar Shatala banawa wa Aparium laha tazaya'a al harag banyawa. Let's look at that word. Well, I already explained it. What is a slip? Slips for plants. That's how you move a plant into one part of a land and into another part into another land, right? You You see, the root is still there, but it's just moved somewhere else. Those are plant slips, right? So the Lord still kind of kept his blessing being in a fruitful land, but he moved them to the Americas. But still, Ephraim as a tribe was spoiled, as in his children were spoiled. They were brought into captivity, brought to the murderer, right? Because you got Ephraimites over there in Puerto Rico, and you got heathens over there in Puerto Rico. And they're kind of, they know what's going on, so they're kind of like, um, but Jake doesn't know why they have that enmity, but these other nations do, right? So they kind of prey on Ephraim, right? So it says, Parium ka ashar ra'ayataya la tazawar shatala ba'nawa wa parium laha tazaya'a al harag banyawa. Hosea 9 and 14. Give unto them, O Lord, what shall be given unto them? Give unto them a womb miscarrying and breast dried up. Which reads Thun Laham Yahweh Ma Thathan Thun Laham Raham, meaning the womb. So it means mercy, but it also means the womb. Ma Shakyal, meaning to bereave. Washadium, and breast dried up. Tazamakium, right? Tazamak says to dry up, to shrivel, right? Because what do you get out of breast? You get milk. You get weaned by understanding, right? Which is why you see Northern Kingdom going the hell off, right? Hosea 9 and 15. All their evils in Gilgal, because there I hated them upon the evil of their backsliding. From, says, from my house I will drive them out. They will not again, I will not again love them. All their princes are revolters. The word is sarar, it just means backsliders. Or another way to say backslider is revolter. Right? In a figurative sense, the word sawar is just the root is just sawar, to turn back. Which reads call Raitham Ba Golgol Kaya Sham um, Shana'a Shana'athium Al Rai Ma Ilal Yahum Ma Bayathia A Karasham La'a Asap Awasap Ahab Thum Kal Sharyahum Sararium. Verse 16. You smitten Ephraim Their root is dried up. Fruit they shall not bear, even because they shall bring forth, and I will kill the precious things of their womb, meaning you're not going to prosper, right? Hakah, Aparium, Sharasham, Yabash, Parya, Balya, Ya, Aishawan, Gum Kaya, Yaladwan, Waha Matya, Wahamadya, Batanam. He will reject them, my God, because they have not heard unto him. And it will come to pass, they shall be wanderers amongst the nations. Ya Ma'asam, Alaya, Kaya, La'a, Shamaiwa, Lawa, Wayahayawa, Nadadium, Bagawayim. Basically, the northern kingdom, just like the southern kingdom, they got scattered amongst the nations, right? So that's pretty much it. This is Hosea chapter 9, going to the Hebrew. It's Brother Yatazdak, hero of Israel. And as always, Lord willing, you were edified. Giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, Great Millstone. Kwam Yasha Allah, Abba Shalom.